Welcome to another wonderful episode of Write and Shine, Shining Through Your Words, author series, proudly brought to you by Write and Shine Media House. My name is Magriet, and I'm absolutely delighted to have my next guest here. Pamela, please will you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, I'm Pamela Topjian, and I'm an author, but I was a former nurse and I took some hypnotherapy when I quit that during the pandemic. And I'm a pet sitter, and I am a survivor of childhood trauma and abuse in my adulthood, and then healing from that trauma and going on to live a life that I now love. And I wrote all about it in my memoir slash autobiography. I didn't come this far to only come this far. So, yeah,
Sorry, my unmute button there. I
it's okay.
absolutely, I absolutely love your book title, Pamela. And like
Thank
I said
you.
to you before we hopped online, it just resonates so much. What a beautiful, heartfelt title. Please,
Yeah.
can you share a little bit more? How did you come up with that, and what led you to writing the book?
Yeah, so what led me to writing it, first of all, is I was writing it as almost like a journal to kind of connect the dots as to, I had had a big major mental breakdown, and I was going through therapy, and I was trying to connect the dots as to what got me to this place. How did I get here to have this big breakdown? And in therapy, my therapist had mentioned about being neglected as a child. We talked about my childhood, and I never thought about it as being an abusive, traumatic situation or being neglected or anything until after talking to my therapist and realizing that it really was. And so I wanted to try to remember everything. And so I was writing it down, just sort of in order, everything I could remember from childhood up until that point, which was at age 50. So it was all that time. I didn't really know myself. I didn't have self-respect or, self-love or any of that. So I was just writing it all down to try to figure it out for myself. And then reading other memoirs of women who had made it through some really difficult situations, some of them really horrific things that we can't imagine even ever happening, much, much worse than what I've been through. But reading through some of other women's memoirs, and then they go on to do great things or even just to live and thrive and love their life, then it really had a great impact on me to know that it was possible to go on and heal from these traumatic experiences and from this dark place in my mind, to heal from that and to go on. To know that it's possible, you know, was very inspiring for me. So then that helped me to realize maybe I should write this as a book to publish. Um, once I started healing and I was reading other people's stories, and I thought, my book might be helpful to someone as well. And my book is more of like an every woman kind of a thing. Like so many women have been through a lot of the same kinds of things as I have been through. And, I wanted, women who have maybe been, through abusive relationships or had traumatic childhood experiences and things like that, rather than these really, really horrific, unimaginable things, but women that could relate to a lot of what I've been through, to know that it's still possible to go on and live a very happy life and to love your life and love yourself, just knowing that it's possible. So, going through the therapy and, coming out of that dark space in my mind, trying to come up with a title. I didn't come this far to only come this far. It's like I can't stop this healing journey now. I can't just, okay, good, I'm good now. Just go on about my my
Yes.
life as it was. So I knew that like the healing journey was like continuous. So not coming this far, meaning coming out of this, dark place, this breakdown,
Yes.
coming out of that, and then now what? So that was like, that's where the title came from.
I
So yeah.
absolutely love that. And Pamela, we have
Thank you.
such similar, backstories. I also
Yeah.
published my book last year after a mental breakdown. And
Yeah. Oh
also
my.
initially, and it's interesting because I am a ghostwriter, etc., but I didn't want to
Hmm.
publish the book. It was really more for me in a selfish
Yeah.
way. And it's just so interesting that moment you pick up your pen. It's such an
Hmm.
empowering moment. So I love that you shared that. And just I want to honor, that you've done that. Well done.
Oh,
And it,
thank
it
you.
really
Thank
is
you.
just incredible. The therapy. And that's my next question to you for
Yeah.
anyone, tuning into your interview. What advice would you give them if they are really struggling mentally? It's a new year. There's
Yeah.
horrific things around our world going on.
Mm.
What advice would you give him or her listening to you?
Well, to not give up, it takes a lot of patience and diligence, and especially when you're in those dark spaces, it's really hard work, but it's so worth it. And whatever kinds of therapy or methods or treatments or something, it might take more than one thing. And one thing might not work as well for you as it does for your friend or your neighbor or your loved one, you know, but keep trying, don't give up. It's totally worth it.
I love that. Also, we are in the beginning of a new year. Do
Mhm.
you have a word for the year 2025?
I do. I believe that this is a year of reflection.
Wow.
For me, it's a year of reflection anyway. Last year was very kind of empowering and powerful and just, really thriving and just, getting so much done and
Yeah.
learning and growing in so many ways. And then this year is a year to kind of step back a little bit, reflect on the past year and the past years,
Yeah.
and just sort of go within maybe a little bit.
I love that. And it's such an interesting word that you chose. You would
Yeah.
think gratitude, your normal type of words. So I love reflection. It's actually a very mindful word because it
Yeah.
really is almost the gratitude is linked to it. It is to reflect
Yeah.
on everything in your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think that gratitude is so important when you're reflecting. You don't want to just look back and say, all these terrible things, or,
Yeah. Yes.
or focus. We tend to focus on what's negative or what went wrong, but it's so important to also reflect on, what went right, what was good, what do I want to continue, and what do I want to leave behind? And then sort of sit with that for a little bit, find out why am I feeling this way? Get in touch with your feelings, but then ask yourself, why am I feeling this way?
Yes. No, I love that. And to sit with it. It's like we are
Yeah.
overall too rushed. It really is to be
Yeah.
mindful in that reflective state. I really like your word. I might
Thank you.
borrow it.
Totally fine.
Thank you. Pamela, and where can people find your book if they are inspired to purchase it?
So it is on Amazon and it's available on Kindle and in paperback. I would love to get it on Audible. But I don't know. I'm not sure how to go about that yet. But I would love to someday get it on
Yes.
Audible. I love when I listen to Audible, I love listening to authors read their own book.
Yes.
And I've tried that just practicing, and it's so much more than just reading. It's almost
Yes.
like acting.
It
So
is.
it's much harder than you think.
I recorded, I had an Audible record.
Oh,
I still have to upload it, but it was really like acting. I actually had voice
yeah.
actors and everything in as well.
Yeah.
It was wonderful creating it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to do that. But right now it's on Amazon and it's
Amazing.
you can find it easier by putting my name in the Amazon search than trying to put you'll get a lot more than just my book if you put in I didn't come this far to only come this far. So
I
here's
love
the
it.
here's the book of it. Yep. So that's what it
Oh,
looks like.
beautiful. What a fantastic front cover.
Thank you. And I have another book that I published. It's all about my nursing career because I
Oh,
was
wow.
in nursing for 14 years and I quit nursing during the pandemic. And after when I started writing the book, I was wondering why I didn't quit sooner.
Mm.
Because it's so
Oh,
so
wow.
crazy the behind the scenes, especially in the US anyway. Like it might be different in different areas, but nursing in the US, it's my experience behind the mask, gloves, and scrubs, one nurse's journey. So
Wow.
so those
Very
are
good
both available on
titles.
Amazon. Yeah, thank you.
And it
I
really
put a lot
is.
of thought into the titles, you know. It
I
takes
can I can
forever.
see definitely. And I love that you also do the same. It's like basically honoring a season by writing a book about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it helped me to reflect.
Yes.
It did. But in the first book, I do go through it a little bit, but it's
Yes.
just kind of quick, because it wasn't really, it was like a life story, and
Yes.
nursing is a big part of my life story. But so it didn't focus too much on it. So other people had asked me about more about the behind the scenes of the nursing and things that I had been through and experienced and witnessed, And so
Mm.
I decided, maybe I should write a book. So I just started writing it to see if I could have enough stories in there, have enough experience to put in there.
Oh,
And
good.
and I did. So
Well
yeah.
done. I do want to ask you as an author, what is your favorite part of being one?
What is a favorite part of being
An
a nurse
author,
or
an author writing
an
books.
author?
Yes.
My favorite part is, I think it's either, it's really a healing journey
Mm.
on your own. It kind of helps you to sort of, set aside a part of your life or things that you think about that maybe you ruminate about or things that it helps me to gain clarity for myself. So
Yes.
I think that's probably the best part. But the second best thing, and I'm sure a lot of authors say this, is that, the feedback that you get when you get some positive feedback that people have gained something, some insights or some clarity for themselves through reading your book.
Yes.
That's so amazing to hear that you can have that impact on people. So that's really nice too.
It's incredible. Pamela, thank you so much for being here today and for not giving up, for being brave to
Oh,
share your
thank you.
story as well.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure and my honor to be on your show today.
It's such
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. How can people reach you on social media before we say goodbye?
Yeah, so I on Instagram, it's innerjourney.Pamela Topjian. And that's really all I have. I'm not on TikTok, and my Facebook is just my personal one. I don't normally just give that out, and I keep that small. So yeah, just Instagram. Oh, and I'm on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Pamela
Amazing.
Topjian. So yeah.
That's amazing. And I do want to invite you back when you write your third book
Oh, thank
to
you.
come and talk about it. It was really
Yeah,
lovely having you. Thank you so much.
thank you.
And for everyone tuning in, may you be inspired by Pamela's story of not giving up and to remember that you haven't come this far to just get this far. There is so much waiting for you. And to be reflective this year within the emotions where you find yourself, and just know everything is working out for your good. Keep on writing and keep on shining.
Just watch me shine.